Now in this particular question we're still looking at formulas and functions and equations, and we're going to be looking at a question which asks us about certain investments. Now when people are investing money, or when people are studying money, they kind of try and figure out a formula for how their money is changing. Now remember, a formula is a recipe. It tells you what the ingredients are in order to get the result you want. In this particular question we have a formula: V equals 100 plus 45t plus 1.5t squared. And that tells us that the result we want, the value of the investment in euro, V, and what we just need to do is we take the value t, we put that into our formula, and we should get a result for our value at any particular point in time. So remember, this is a formula for the amount of money, the value of a particular investment in euro. And these formulas are created all the time by different groups of people, particularly banks, in order to figure out how much money there is. So let's have a look at putting values into the formula and seeing what results we get out. And this question asks you to find the rate at which the value of the investment was changing after 6 months. Now we don't really know how to solve this problem, but let's maybe have a look at how much money is in the account after 6 months, and then have a look at how much money is in the account after 7 months, and see what the difference is. So maybe that'll give us some information about the rate. Okay, so remember that a formula is a method that you just take a particular value, in this question t. T is the time in months, and we're going to have a look at it after 6 months. So t is just the value 6. We take the value 6 and we put it into our formula here. And as we showed with substitution, when you put a value into a formula, we're going to get a particular result. So you just get that formula, you stick that formula into your calculator, and you'll get a particular result. Okay, so the result that we get is we find the value of the investment is 316 euro after 6 months. That's not what we were asked. We're asked to find how much it was changing. So maybe let's have a look at how much it's worth after 7 months. And what we find is that after 7 months, the value of the investment is 341.5 euro, 341 euro and 50 cents. Now that's how much it changes from 6 months to 7 months. Remember, a formula tells us that if we take the time, 6 months, we take that value and put it into our formula. Our formula tells you to take that value and put it in here, and that will give us our answer, our result. And our result is how much the value is worth in euro. So after 6 months, the investment is worth 316. After 7 months, it's worth 341 euro and 50 cent. So the investment is still definitely going up. Okay. This question is a little bit more complicated. It actually wants to know what the instantaneous rate is, but that's something you look at a different time. But here's a first step to figuring it out. You can see at least that the investment is still increasing. The next question says, is the investment increasing or decreasing after 18 months? So basically we're going to try exactly the same thing. We're going to substitute the value 18 and 19 into it and see whether we think the investment is increasing or decreasing. So remember, this is a formula. V equals 100 plus 45t minus 1.5t squared. The formula is a model. It tells us that we can take a value of time, stick it into a model or a formula, and we get a result out that tells us how much is in our investment. So 18 months is the value that we put into our formula. And when we put that value into our formula, exactly like we did here, we'll get an answer of 424 euro. When we put 19 months in, we get a value from our formula of 413 euro and 50 cent. So just knowing what a formula is, you can just put the value that you're given in and figure out what is happening. In this question, what you kind of wanted to know is, what does rate mean? Rate means the investment was changing. So the only way that you were able to figure it out was to say, well, see how much I have from 6 months, and see how much I have at 7 months, and see how much it has changed. Then you checked how much you had at 18 months, you checked how much you had at 19 months, and you saw how much you would have changed. So the question, is the investment increasing or decreasing? Is the investment going up or going down? Do you have more money or less money? Well, have a look. After 18 months, you had 424 euro. After 19 months, you had less money, so the investment is decreasing. So even though you don't actually have the specific technique to solve this. You do know something about formulas, and that's enabled you to answer this leaving cert question. Just knowing what a formula is, just knowing how to substitute. So what you're going to do for an exercise now is we're going to look at substitution, and we're going to do exercises substitution 1 through 5. I want you to be able to complete them, try them out, see how well you do, and I'll follow your progress, and then your revision will be assigned.